Welcome to the 5 at 5. I'm very happy to say Arsenal won, Man City nil. A statement victory, a really important victory. We finally did it. We finally beat Man City in the league, and it's been a long time coming. And also, obviously, the Kovacic thing was huge, but I'm glad we did it 11 on 11. We did it in 90 minutes. We kept a clean sheet. We silenced Haaland. It was just brilliant. Let's get into my 5 at 5 from what was a statement victory by Arsenal Football Club. Number one, Saliba the Bully. How many times have I made that part of my 5 at 5? But when you come up against probably the best number 9, the most physically intimidating number 9 in world football, and you play the way Saliba played, you have to call that out and give it some specific focus. William Saliba, he's not a nice person. He's an absolute bully. He absolutely dominated Haaland yesterday. When I look back at the stats, I'm amazed. He won 100% of his duels. He had 5 recoveries. He had 99% passing accuracy, 70 passes, only 1 misplaced. I mean, that's unbelievable. 3 entries into the final third as well. It's not that he was only passing sideways and backwards. Saliba was brilliant yesterday. And if that wasn't all enough, this little moment in the game, for me, it showed real maturity to his play. This isn't some sort of rookie defender who's thinking, I'm going to try and get into a physical battle with Haaland all the time. He knows when to do it, knows when not to do it, knows what he can get away with. His experience is way beyond his years. William Saliba is the answer. William Saliba is the absolute truth. And I've said it a million times before, and I'll say it again. Rolls-Royce, when you make your next car, you better call it the Saliba, because William Saliba is the Rolls-Royce of defenders right now. Very happy he's at our club. And for me, he's the future of our defence. Saliba, monster performance. Number 2, tensions spilling Jover. And that's because of what happened after the full-time whistle with Kyle Walker and Nicholas Jover. And then Haaland, who had no attacking threat in the game. This is the probably most attacking he got, was when he came over and pushed Nicholas Jover as well. It will be interesting to see if the FA do anything about this. It was a little bit of handbags, but who knows what happened in the tunnel. Maybe it carried on down there. There's some rumours. But from what we saw pitch side, Nicholas Jover kind of stuck his hand out to shake hands with Kyle Walker, and Kyle Walker wasn't having any of it. So from the camera angles that we've got, it looks like Nicholas Jover was just sort of like being a good sportsman about it. But listen, I would not be surprised. Given some of Nicholas Jover's previous behaviour, he's been in trouble a few times when he's like in the technical area at set pieces, when he's telling Arsenal to do certain things. Referees or fourth officials have had words with him in the past. He seems like a fiery character, and I'm all for it. I don't care as long as it gets results on the pitch. But clearly, whatever he said or whatever he did rubbed up Kyle Walker the wrong way. The interesting thing is that he is an ex-Man City employee, Nicholas Jover. So perhaps they didn't like the fact that he might have been rubbing it in. But you know what? They're sore losers. Man City aren't used to losing. Hopefully Arsenal can make them a little bit more accustomed to that so they take defeat a little bit better in future. Nicholas Jover, have your fun. And number 3, moving nicely on from Nicholas Jover to what, and we're talking about what he does off the pitch, obviously fighting with people, but what he does on the pitch. And in the 49th minute, Arsenal had a corner. And I'm so used to seeing this because sitting right behind the goal in the North Bank, and I'm not sure people really appreciate what Ben White does on corners. And obviously this is led by Nicholas Jover. Ben White, honestly, watch it next time. Just keep an eye on Ben White when we've got an attacking corner. He'll sort of like aimlessly wander into the penalty box, won't really attract much attention. He'll walk through the crowd of players. He'll walk behind the goalkeeper and just stay there for a couple of seconds. And as that ball comes in, he walks round the goalkeeper, actually leaves the pitch, walks in the goal, walks round the goalkeeper, and then just stands in front of him. Watch the corner in the 49th minute against Man City yesterday and how well he pinned Ederson. Ederson couldn't do anything, and it caused absolute havoc for Arsenal, where I think it was Gabriel Jesus at the back post had a chance and maybe should have done a bit better. But all of that havoc is caused because Ben White has pinned Ederson, and he does it week in, week out. I love it. I love watching Ben White do it. He absolutely terrorizes opposition goalkeepers. He does it at home, does it away, and hardly ever gets picked up. So if you hadn't noticed it, go and check it out and start to pick up on it. Number 4, just one thing that I noticed in the game was in the 85th minute where Arsenal did some really good work in the penalty box and Ødegaard got the ball. And this was in the 85th minute. Try and watch the highlights if you can of this. And instead of doing the really, really simple thing, which was just a little 6-yard pass, just laying it back for an Arsenal attacker to have a strike on goal, he went and tried to find Gabriel Jesus with something a little bit more complex. And when he did that, I thought to myself, Ødegaard, he always makes the right decisions. Why did he make the wrong decision there? What was it about that situation? And the only thing I could think of was that when he looks up there, it's Kai Havertz. And he worked a lot harder to find Gabriel Jesus in a less promising position instead of doing the really, really obvious thing and laying it back to Kai Havertz. Now, maybe I'm reading too much into it. And listen, you're never going to make the right decision all of the time. But it just made me ask the question, is it a case of trust? Is it a case of, look, we're happy to give Kai Havertz a penalty, but when it's 0-0 against Man City, do we really want him to be the one on the end of the chance? I was a bit disappointed that he didn't pass it there because I felt like Kai Havertz, it was very, very simple and it wouldn't, he can't do too much wrong there because all you're going to do there is smash it at goal. And it could have actually been Kai Havertz scoring the goal there. But Ødegaard decided to do something totally different where I feel like he made the wrong decision. If you know the moment I'm talking about, or if you get the chance to look at the highlights, let me know what you think of that moment in the comments below. Number 5, impact subs. So let's run through the goal that we scored. Thomas Partey picks the ball up deep into the midfield for Arsenal, plays a 40-yard pass because someone has made a gut-busting run down the centre of the pitch. Who's that person? It's Takehiro Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu gets that ball, and as it comes to him, he's attracted 3 Man City defenders around him, and he's only got one option. That's to get his head to it and nod it back to Kai Havertz, who's square of him in the penalty area. He does that. Kai Havertz controls it, bends down, controls it on his stomach/chest. By this point, they've attracted 4 Man Cities around them. 4 Man City defenders around them in the penalty box. You can throw a blanket over them, which means Martinelli is free on the edge of the box. Kai Havertz lays it back to Martinelli, and Martinelli takes a shot on goal, gets a deflection, and it goes in. What have Partey, Tomiyasu, Havertz, and Martinelli all got in common in this game? That's right. They were all substitutes. So Mikel Arteta must have been absolutely over the moon to see 4 substitutes combining in what led to the match-winning goal. If that moment doesn't tell you that he got it right, nothing will. Well done, Mikel Arteta, and well done the subs for combining to get that massive, massive goal. It's more than 3 points. It's a statement. We're in this title run. Right, that's it. That's the 5 at 5 done. 2 weeks now off between games. Our next game is Chelsea away in the Premier League. And listen, they haven't been great, but we know that's never going to be an easy game. At least we can enjoy the international break. Hopefully it gives Zinchenko some time to do some reading up on worldly affairs instead of being the hypocrite that he is. But in any case, Arsenal 1, Man City 0, buzzing to be ahead of them in the league and for that statement victory. Let's see what the rest of the season holds. I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Take care.